Today's video is going to be a general reading using my new tarot cards, the Ethereal Visions Illuminated Tarot Deck. You can see how the cover of it looks on my vlog channel, and I explain a little bit more about it, but I was so intrigued by the last general reading I did for all of you that I decided to do it again with the new card deck. These are just wonderful cards. They're my favorites so far, and I connect with them very, very well. So let's begin. So this is just going to be a reading for everyone watching. Whatever comes up, comes up. I'm just gonna pick up on whatever comes up, and whatever you feel connects with you, that's what it will be the message for you to listen to. So let's begin and see what happens. So oh my gosh, I am horrible. I should just give up. I'm not very good at hand shuffling, especially with new cards. So. I'm used to doing this, which I might as well do. And you can book your own reading on my website, of course. I do 15-minute and 30-minute readings. Let's see what's going on with that. Just a general reading. My old ones were getting so battered on the edges and damaged, and it was time to get a new one. So. And I'm kind of switching up the angle here. Usually you see them head down, but I might actually do them like this from now on. It feels more connected when you look at a person doing that rather than just at the cards. So we'll see. Alright. And I'm doing reverses this time, so. Which I normally used to not do, but I feel it's better if I did. Okay. So what I'm seeing here, let me just organize. Okay. Might take me a little bit of time to process this. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so yeah, I did feel this since the beginning. Some of you were gonna get involved in a relationship or still are. This Lover's card. And it's very like a passionate type. You know. It's sort of like you met in a community or something form. By this Four of Wands, it's telling me that you will meet or you have met in like a church or organization or something like that, like a group, like a meeting or like a gathering of people, a community. Maybe someone in your community, maybe someone in your district, like your neighborhood, something like that. You'll have met someone and you feel kind of insecure now with your financial situation. Perhaps you feel like even your career is not really taking off as you would hope. I'm getting by these two cards here. The Ace and Five of Pentacles in reverse, and there's something like holding you back, but at the same time, it's it's going good now, but like in the future it may not, like maybe a decision you come across will not go your way necessarily, and your fear is still very much strong of going back to the old ways. Part of you feels like being with this person is not good for you, and maybe they're not, it's not really gonna flow or connect well with your life. Like maybe you're gonna be too busy, or they're gonna be too busy and caught up, and then it's just not gonna end up working out, Sometimes you happen to meet someone in a certain time in your life, and then it just doesn't end up working out, and you're gonna come to terms with that. You're not gonna get what you would hope out of this person. It's just not gonna bring you that much satisfaction. I'm seeing by this Empress card, it's not gonna bring you more abundance or happiness in any way. I'm seeing by your final result that you ultimately will have to pick up the pieces and move on. It's gonna be one of those things that may be kind of painful for a while. You have to pick up the slack now and move on from where you left off. It's, again, not easy to be with someone a while, and then even if it's just a few months, like this is very short term. I'm getting very short-lived vibes here. You may have the passion and romance at first, but then it's just gonna kind of dismiss itself and end things, right? And you will have to just move on. You almost will be like dumbfounded that this even occurred, but you'll have to pick up the piece and move on, because it's not good for you. This person is toxic for you. So just because you met them and you have the initial reaction doesn't mean that that's gonna stay forever. That feeling definitely does not last. The mesmerized feeling of this person is not going to be profound or long-lasting, long-lived, really. Right now you're kind of in a position where it's like you didn't even need them to begin with. They just kind of came in a random place and time, like you did not even expect to occur. But you yourself are pretty reserved and content. You'd rather be alone with your cat or dog, at home, and you're kind of like a homebody type of person, or maybe introverted a bit. But this person will bring out new passions in you that will make you almost feel the opposite, or they're the opposite themselves, And because it's a kind of a generalized message for everyone, right? So it's either or. A lot of times it's 50-50, but I'm getting a mix of both here, and I'm being strongly pulled toward that reservedness of yours, where you hold things close to your heart. And this person you will have held very tightly and close, like a bond, and that's why it'll hurt so much, because you feel more, you feel everything so deeply. And I'm kind of getting this person is like an airy sign, like an air sign. They're very swift, and not to take it personally, because usually they're like this with everyone. They're the kind of like player type of person that just kind of like messes with people's hearts, and they don't even realize what they're doing, and they think everyone is functioning out of that way, and it's not the case. So you fell so deeply because they hypnotized you almost, and it's like typically people get that way when they meet them unexpectedly, not just like out of planning. So they caught you at like the right time and the right moment, and they fooled you basically. So be mindful of that. And I keep saying too, like in the next couple months, or it's already happening for 2 months. Yeah. From this, you will kind of learn their ways and their airy ways. Again, kind of like air sign. Maybe fire for some of you. I'm getting air mostly though. And you will learn their what they do, how they hypnotize other people into their tricks and getting what they want, and then leaving you with little pieces, just memories, basically. So it's almost going to be uncomfortable, like in this page of cups. I'm seeing it's in reverse, but you're holding your hand out like, I just want to dump this off the cliff and get it over with. Like, you know what's about to hit you. You know by their actions what they're about to do. If they're about to cut things off or block you, you know their intention there. It's just, maybe some of you even caught them, like cheating on the phone, like on the text or something, texting other people. And it's just not going to end well. But you keep it to yourself. You don't confront them. You don't tell them. Again, that's part of your introvertedness. You're kind of like not liking that kind of confrontation. You would rather sit and feel it and cry to yourself rather than tell them or expose the truth. You're not that type of a person watching. So you would rather like sit back and watch the train wreck rather than be a part of it. And you're just observing it now. And I think that's coming from your spiritual place where you've been hurt before and you have more wisdom now, and not to confront the little insecurities, because part of you feels like, what if I'm wrong? There's always a little part of you that's going to be like tugging at your heart, like, let's not sabotage this, or let's not jump to conclusions, because then I'm going to end up making the mistake of assuming too soon, and then they ended because of that, not because of what they did, Perhaps I misinterpreted completely the financial part. It's actually more like you're going to feel as if you're being depleted of your life force, your energy, and it's going to feel like forever. They're going to manipulate you into thinking and into their tricks, believing in their tricks. And it's going to feel as if you are depleting of your when something feels like it's soul crushing, like it happens over and over again, and with people who you feel like, oh, they would never do this to me, and then they ended up doing it anyway. That kind of defeat. So I'm more in this reading, generalized, trying to keep you away from that hurt. At the very least, feel less of it by being more mindful of your actions, who you choose to be with. Because I'm very real in my readings. If you book my readings, I am never going to scrape the surface of things. You book when you're ready. You have to feel drawn to me and my readings, my method, the connectivity between viewer and performer, right? And so you book when you are ready. So if you are not ready to hear what really you don't want to hear or know, you're not gonna book, and I can easily say that's why I don't get a million bookings, you know what I mean? Because you only book when you're ready, and that's how it is, And some people, they book and wow, they did not expect how deep it would go. And that's how it is. And not everyone likes it. Not everyone wants to hear the negative side of themselves, but everyone has that negative side. So this is making you aware of your negative side and how to heal that. You're never gonna 100% correct yourself. That's why you're here. So it's not about denying that side of yourself. Many are quick to deny and only want to stay in the positive. But if you don't heal that bad side, I guess you want to call it, just to summarize it up, there's no description for it, then you can stay in the light all you want, that you're never gonna get anywhere. You're gonna keep repeating the same mistakes. So I feel like that's the purpose of these. It's not just to tell your future or, fortune telling. It's more for a deep understanding, connectiveness with you and your actions, who you are, and to realize that you chose this person. They may have came and approached you, but you chose them. You can cry about it later, but You chose them, you know? It's on them as much as it's on you. You didn't have to be with them, you know? Now, of course, is it your fault that you picked the wrong one? And no, it's just a pattern of old traits that we tend to have with people, and we tend to repeat the same thing because we haven't healed that part of ourselves, you know, and that's just making you have an awareness of that, to be more mindful of who you choose, you know. Stand your ground. Be this Empress, rather than the one who keeps choosing the wrong fruits, right? You will literally be blind this month. Like, they will blind you so good. Like, the blindfold, like, you also, some of you will be fooled, some of you will just choose to be fooled. And I'm getting a lot of that, like, half and half. Like, they will be so good at their tactics, you will be blinded by the truth. And some of you, you will just actively choose to ignore the truth because you would not want to sit in that uncomfortable feeling. You want to enjoy the moment while it lasts and suffer later. So, again, it's forewarning you by this Two of Swords. Like, make up your mind now, you know. Cut the connection, get it over with, or suffer. You know, because the longer this lasts with this person, the longer the suffering will. And the longer you'll have to almost forget what happened, you know, like, let's say you're with a person only 1 month, and then you get over it in 2 months. Now let's say you're with a person 2 months, it'll take you 4 months to get over that, you know, like double the time usually. So the sooner you want to cut this, the better. It's just clearly telling me no, like, it's not going to work out between this random person you just met, or have met, or will meet, you know. So let's see here. I almost want to do another spread just to kind of get a clarity here, because that's kind of all I'm seeing. Let's see one more. Just to make a nice long reading for you like last time. See, totally different message from the first general reading I did. This is more short term. Yep. You are so afraid of the truth. The Devil card. It's a good card. It represents temptation. They will have fooled you twice. Literally twice. Interesting. You have fell for the trick again. This happened before. There's a certainty. Look, you're sitting in shame. You're like laying down in shame. And you're like, dang, I fell for it again. It's like they are the devil in living form, and you fell for the trick again. There are definitely some people, some negative walking influences on earth who do this to us, and you know, it's a learning curve. You know, it's happened to all of us. They appear a certain way, but they're deep down inside something else, and they're just waiting to slither out and attack. Yeah. This will not end well. It's almost like they diminish a part of you, like your self-esteem, or yeah, it's just more that. It's like you have to be more protective now and guard yourself more. If you aren't already reserved more, you probably will be even more now, because it will impact you in such a way that you will be more precautious the next time you go in a communion or something. Like it could be anything, like it doesn't have to be a church or like a party or something. I'm getting something spiritual, so there's like a spiritual connection here. Like a spiritual gathering or a group or meeting. I don't know, it doesn't have to be, but you lost your power with them. You gave your power to them, and they took control and ate you up. So that's what it is. Wow, the cards do not lie. It's it's almost like going to this group meeting was self-sabotage. Because you came from a place where this happened before and you decided, oh, what's the worst that could happen? Let me go out there. Let me stop closing myself off. Let me stop being to myself and start meeting others again. And it just attacked again. Again, that kind of, you're not going to ever succeed in this unless you heal that part of you that draws these people in. There's something in you that keeps drawing these devilish characters into your life, taking advantage of you. Maybe you need to set a boundary more with others, or maybe there's a part of you that they feel like you have a weakness and they can easily manipulate or attack, you know? So, it's just hanging over your head. You're gonna have an awareness of this, if not now. And you're just gonna realize the patterns with old friends, old partners, and how you kept having to go through that because you didn't, you chose to ignore that part of you that draws these kind of characters in, you know. Maybe you're too soon with them, or you too open with them too fast. And that comes from a place where someone like this, some horrible influence like this, when you were younger, like, did something to you, you know, that caused you to function this way out of, like a desperation, for lack of a better term. I mean it in the nicest way, of course. I'm just trying to come across the message here, so. Like when we draw ourselves into someone too quick, it's like a kind of an act of an energy of desperation. Not that you're desperate or conscious of the desperation, it's just called that. So yeah, for sure, this is gonna end into you basically not regaining your power back anytime soon, closing yourself off even further. Look how tightly clenched that stone is. It's the High Priestess card, the card that represents this whole tarot deck. It couldn't be any more clear. You will not regain your strength. You will lose it after this. This is gonna end horribly. I'm so sorry to hear that. You know, but we learn, right? And look, two. I keep saying 2 months. Whatever that connects to you. Or even the 2. I keep saying they will fool you twice. You caught them cheating once. You'll forgive them, they'll apologize, and they'll do it again. They are the devil card. Keep that in mind, okay? I would honestly, like, cut things now if I were you. Especially if you already know and you have an awareness, like you cut them once already. It's not gonna be well. No way. Interesting. Again, general reading, so whatever connects to you. Alright? And if it doesn't connect at all, wait 2 months. And comment back on this video. Alright, so let's see here. 6 of Swords. Yeah. It's gonna feel like why did I go in the first place? I shouldn't have ventured out. I shouldn't have explored. I shouldn't have met more people. I should have just stayed at my butt home. I should have just minded my business. I shouldn't have went on this trip. It didn't end well. Now I'm more closed off than I was before. And you're just gonna feel like even more like lazy, or like going back to your old ways for a little while. It's just gonna kind of feel like that because you're gonna be so unmotivated because of this person, like what they did. Like, you're just gonna be like, wow, you know, I can't believe they duped me again, or someone duped me. Maybe, it could also mean not that this person literally duped you twice, but this happened once before and now it's happening again, so this is the second time. That could be. The good news is, though, you will regain some of your strength from this. Like, you'll recoup who you are. But some of that strength may be through other influence, and this is where I finally see the Pentacles. Like, you're going to choose to focus now on your work, your career, your job, rather than, could be building your life too, rather than other people. So you're going to be closed off in that category of life, and you're just going to choose to focus at least one good thing out of this. It won't completely destroy you, even though it may feel like it will wreck you for a while. Part of this also tells me that you end up being the devil in a good way. You end up being the heartbreaker. Do you know what I mean? Like, because people have done this to you so many times, maybe 2 times too many, that you will be that person who is like, you know what? I'm not gonna depend on these creatures anymore. If anyone wants to mess with me, I'm them now. They better be scared of me. They better watch out for my tactics, and this will empower you. So that's what I'm saying with the devil also, and the King of Pentacles. You gotta channel and choose how you focus your energies, not just in a negative light, right? I keep itching my arm. It's like something telling me, you know, like sometimes I choke up in a reading, sometimes I get like really hot and nervous. I'm itching now. This may even cause you to itch. Maybe you want to go figure out the reason why. Specifically my elbow. Very interesting. Lack of mobility, maybe, or lack of like the nervousness of being unable to change our past. Do something about our present, but we can change our future. That's what I'm getting out of this. Let's see here. So I'm also seeing the 8 of Cups in your present position. You will be isolated. This will make you reserved and more closed off, and you're gonna contemplate life and your surroundings. You may even choose to explore and venture out again, but this time not with the intention of meeting people. You're just gonna do it for you, and that's the best thing you can possibly do, because you know, at first you imagine like, oh, I want to travel the world with them by my side. Nope, you're just going to end up doing it alone, because you're going to just hermit off. You're going to close yourself off. The Cups is telling me a lot of emotion, a lot of healing time. You're going to cry and cry and cry to yourself. You know, the moon also represents that. The night opening up. We tend to cry at night. I know I do, at least. Well, not that I cry every night, but you know what I mean. Like when I cry, it's definitely at night for the most part, like before sleep. That's when we tend to bring out those emotions, right? So what I am seeing, again, this will defeat you, unfortunately, but this had to happen. This will just wreck you. This will ruin you. You're going to feel like the world's ending. It already feels like the world's ending half the time. But this person will just really, they will have staked in the last sword on your back. It will feel like sabotage, backstab, everything. You will drown in emotion. Look, you're surrounded by water. You will cry a river, literally. You will. This will wreck you. And look, his hand is kind of clenched on the rock. It's like you want revenge. You're so hurt, but you're so hurt that it's too much energy to take revenge. It takes too much effort to text them back on another phone, or, you know, to leave a sad voicemail and beg for them to come back. Again, part of this for some of you is you did something that caused this, but for the most part, it's more likely that they did something. It was their choosing their actions to end things with you. And I'm not getting it's sort of a fling, short-term thing where they're not serious. They actually were manipulating it into wanting to be in a relationship with you, and then they just cut it off. And that's like the most painful thing, because it was so short-lived, and they pulled you in as if they were serious, but they're not. So be careful, be very careful. Some of you even may drink because of it. Be careful of that. The water's also telling me drink, so try not to drink too much, okay? I know it can be easy to do that during that time, but to forget about it, but you're suppressing that emotion. Better to come it out. Oh, that sounded funny. Better for it to come out, you know, than suppress with a beverage. Let's see here. Yeah, unfortunately, it's gonna again be like a lot of downturns this month, couple of months with this person. Nothing else. It's like they're gonna revolve around your life. You're just gonna meditate upon them. You're gonna think upon them. You're gonna write upon them. You're gonna write like songs or poems about them, and they will mean everything to you. And that's why it will hurt and be so impactful. Again, for most of you who haven't gone through this yet, I'm trying to it's more telling me better to keep your distance, be this person, instead of them being this person. Be this empowered individual, okay? And if they ask you to be in a relationship too soon, say no. Deny them this coming months, okay? Do not fall for the trick. Especially when they do things or say things that people in long-term relationships say too soon. That's a warning, okay? That is a form of them getting what they want out of you, okay? Do not fall for that. Again, this happened before, so you know the pattern. You know exactly what I'm talking about, so do not let that replay again times 2, you know? Ooh, some of you, that makes sense now. That makes more sense. It could be 2 times as more painful than the last time as well. Interesting. Ultimately, you will overcome this and regain your strength. It just will take time. It will take tears. It will take healing, okay? You need to be alone right now. And for some of you, you do need to travel and be by water. Like a waterfall or something. Recharge your energy. I'm getting more like your, watery spirit, water sign perhaps, or some of you earthy sign. And they're the opposite. They're like airy fire, so, I mean, no wonder it wasn't a match, first of all. But anyway, my point is, this will help you to learn who you are and to handle these situations better next time by preventing them from occurring in the first place. So there's a good time to settle well with certain people, and you'll know exactly who those type of individuals are who speak things too soon into existence when you don't even really know each other to begin with. So this is their tirade, this is their game they're playing, and do not let them try to defeat you in this game. So I hope that makes sense. I'm just wanting to quickly confirm the timeline here of when this kind of thing will occur. Yeah, they're not telling me 6, yeah. So 6 weeks or 2 months, yeah. That's very interesting. 7, yeah, 6, 7 weeks or 2 months. 7, yeah, 6, 7 weeks or 2 months, I told you. They do not lie. I hope you enjoyed your message. Again, very unexpected, but at least it was more pinpointed toward a specific problem with a specific person rather than being too generalized. I know some of you said that maybe the last reading was very, very summary and it was a multitude of things, but hopefully this was more accurate and pinpointed. I think that's why I connect with these cards more, because it's very, very pinpointy